Today marks a monumentous day for you on this journey. Your first session is about to happen. The chaotic clusterfuck of enjoyment and fun and awkwardness is about to take place. And you realize that you have no idea how to start it off. What's up, everyone? My name is Talon. I am your humble dungeon master. And in today's episode, I'm going to help you start your campaign. Starting the first session is always the hardest thing. It is filled with anxiety and nervousness and anticipation. I still get anxiety whenever I start my first session of a campaign, because you have to take from being at a table with a bunch of friends to being in a different world with your characters as yourselves, and role-playing and rolling dice and fighting monsters and killing things and saving the princess in the tower. There are many ways to start this off. You can go old school, classic. Just drop your party in front of a dungeon. Describe the scene and their goal. You could do that. Or you can go with another option, which many people will say is cliche, but it's your first session, your first campaign. There is no such thing as a cliche. So do whatever the fuck you please. Start them off in a tavern, a la Lord of the Rings, meeting Strider. And ask each player, go around the table and ask each player to describe their character. And if they're first time players, this is probably the first time that they've thought about it. And it's also a really good way to slowly bring people into actually role playing. And it could give the other players and the characters an impression of that character before role playing even begins. First time role players always have a hard time instigating, so you need to drag them on a lot of the time, and that you're gonna have to every now and then. If you yourself are a first time role player, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just remember to take a breath and go with the flow. Do what you're comfortable with. Have fun. If you're having anxiety, like overwhelming anxiety to the point where it is freezing you up, close your eyes and breathe. Just breathe. It's okay. You are safe and you are doing fantastic. I promise you. While the first session is always the worst, you are going to do fantastic. And you're gonna have fun. So will your players. Like I said, there's many ways to start the first session. And it's up to you on how you really want to do it. What I gave are just a couple of examples. But where do you take it from there? How do you link the meeting of the players to your campaign, to your adventure that you have set up? Well, boom. Say your characters are starting off in a tavern, and you go around, you let everyone describe their character, you let everyone get the first little antsies out, let everyone figure out what they're doing and who they are in this world. And then something happens. Something happens that draws their attention and beckons them outside, or forces them to board up the tavern and defend themselves with their last breath. Zombies. Orcs. Orcs attack is a common theme, actually. If your players are idle, not doing anything, orcs attack. Zombies. Things like that. Monsters. Maybe a crack of lightning, or an explosion, an actual boom. Or maybe strange folk arrive in the tavern. Perhaps they know something about what's going on, why people are disappearing. Perhaps the watch comes in, starts interrogating everyone, asking anyone if they've seen anything. Anyone running, anyone mysterious, running down dark alleyways, running into the tavern. you can always create interesting ways to link your start to your adventure just by having something happen. Sometimes it doesn't even need to make sense. I really enjoy starting off my players with an encounter. If I don't start them in a tavern, I will start them on the road with combat. I'll describe the scene. You're in a wagon. You've been in a wagon for the last 4 days. The downpour of the rain is finally getting to you. You're cold, you're wet, and you're anxious. You're tired, and you're just pissed off at everything. The smell of the horses is all you have known for these last 4 days. The mud kicks up into your face, and something happens. With a crash of thunder, an arrow flies and hits your carriage driver right in the throat, spurting blood from his mouth as he leans back, falls off the wagon. The horses rein up, dash off, causing your wagon to be tossed and turned to the side. An explosion sends it up and over, crashing onto its side. When you crawl out, you find yourself surrounded by goblins. There you go. There's a good start right there. Start them off with an encounter. They have their motivation. They're around each other. They have their motivation. They have a need to work together. There you go. More on the pre-game side of things, I want to actually talk about what you have behind your screen. And the first thing that you should have is your bag of dice. Always keep your bag of dice handy. And you will fill this thing up, I promise. You're going to have more than one set. You're going to become addicted to buying dice. If you're using a battle mat of any sort, you want wet erase markers, preferably multicolored, so you can edit things on the map and make it pop a little bit, if you will. You know, water puddle, fire, etc. Give the battle map some life, and because battle mats also only work with wet erase, you want a notebook to keep notes. This is what mine looks like from a recent campaign I ran that crashed and burned and died. I have... Oh wait, that's stat block. There we go. I have all the character names written down with their passive perception, armor class, hit points, the race and class they are, just in case they need it. And then any notes I decide to take before or during the game are here. Beyond that, I just have math showing, you know, stat blocks, HP pools, etc., etc. Then I have my books. I have the player's handbook, but I also have my 2 monster manuals, Mordekainen's Tome of Foes monster manual, and my DM's guide, all behind the screen. And I have all that, and of course a pencil. Kind of need a pencil if you want to write, but who knows? Maybe you have like magic fingers or something. I don't know. I don't know what you are, Gandalf. When you have all that set and you start your campaign, everything's going to be easy. You're going to be going. You're going to be rolling with everything. You're going to be in the zone. And you're going to have fun. If you and your players have fun, that's all that matters. This one's a little bit of a short episode. My throat is killing me. I have a little bit of a cough. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I do stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Can't remember if I said that at the beginning of this episode. Over at twitch.tv/BezertGamer. Links and everything down in the description box. And credit to the one who made my intro is down there as well. It's a fantastic intro. I love it. If you guys have any questions, comment. If you like the video, like and subscribe, obviously. And I'll see you later, Dungeon Masters. Good luck in that first session.